We are live. Just take my seat. Okay, we will call the Village of Mount Sterling Council meeting for September 27th, 2021 to order. Roll call.
David?
Here.
Melanie?
Here.
Greg?
Here.
Becky?
Here.
Jay?
Here.
Andy?
Here.
All's present?
David, would you like to lead a prayer, please?
Lord, thank you for this wonderful day and letting us live in a country that is free. And Lord, be with the council tonight as we make decisions for our village. And Lord, be with our mayor. And also, Lord, touch all the people that's been touched with this terrible virus with your healing hand. And be with our town tonight. In Jesus' wonderful name, amen.
I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting held on September 20th, 2021.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Greg and David?
Roll call.
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
And I'll circulate once we get the other one.
Okay. That takes us to Mayor's report. I have just a couple of things. We did receive from Frank LaRose, Ohio Secretary of State, the official 2020 federal census results, and I will read the proclamation for you. As a result of the federal census of 2020 for the state of Ohio and the various political subdivisions having been officially made known to me, I, Frank LaRose, Secretary of State of the state of Ohio, complying with the provisions of section 703.06 of the revised code of the state of Ohio, do hereby make proclamation that the municipality of Mount Sterling in Madison County, Ohio, according to said federal census of 2020, has a population of 1,945 and shall from and after 30 days from date of this proclamation be known as a village by virtue of and in accordance with said section 703.06 of the revised code of the state of Ohio. So there you have it, folks. That's what our census is, 1,945.
It did go up.
It did go up.
Also, I wanted to remind everybody about the community conversation that's provided by the county We Care Coalition, which we talked about having here, but decided that it wasn't enough room for the breakout sessions. That will be held on October 7th at the Community Center from 6 to 7:30. If you've never been to one of these, our county really is a wealth of information when it comes to mental health, substance usage, things of that nature. I would implore you, if you know anybody that's suffering from things of that nature, if you have children that you are concerned about, you know, are they into drugs? Are they not into drugs? Are they having issues with COVID and just being, you know, having to deal with all of that? It's very real. Don't wait. Come to this. They can answer all of your questions. And if they can't, they will direct you to whom you need to go see, okay? And if anybody wants flyers, I do have those, and I'll put them out or whatever afterwards. So I do want to thank our council members for a very productive 2-hour meeting in regards to the budget for 2022. And there'll be more to come on that as we get things approved. So thank you very much for your time and patience tonight. That takes us to our President Pro Tem report. Mr. Petty?
All right, thank you, Mayor. Honestly, we have a lot going on in our village, just a lot of events, great events. Again, even though fall is more of a signal of changes are coming, everything, you know, kind of a regeneration per se. We're seeing life still in the village. We're seeing life in the sense of events, life with school going again. There's a flow now going, and of course with Halloween right around the corner. Just there's a different energy and atmosphere, which is great. I love this time of year, just a totally different atmosphere. So I just encourage our, again, the mayor will probably talk about this later, you know, calendar events, the newsletter that's just got finished up and we passed out. So we have a lot of events getting ready to come out. Two, a lot of the committees are getting together today. I know Ms. Bricker will speak of this a little later. We did have a meeting before this in regards to doing our budget meeting. The one today was primarily for the general fund, getting that set off, and then we'll have discussions in regards to the branches, as we call them, which is like streets, water, park, things like that. So we'll get more in depth. So of course, we encourage the community to please attend those branch meetings or committee meetings, which we will talk about here in a little bit. The chairs of those committees will speak. We have a lot of great things planned for next year, so that's why I say get involved, listen to what's going on, and that's one way to get involved. Is just just know what's going on and pass that information along. Other than that, again, I'm excited to see this next quarter of the year is going to bring, and that's all I have to report.
Thank you. That takes us to public comments and visitors. We have Mr. Tom Corbin here. What is your address, Mr. Corbin?
What's my address? 4430 Orangeberry Drive, Grove City.
But you're speaking on behalf of the Sun Lodge, right?
Yes, but I'm speaking on behalf of the Masonic Lodge.
Okay. You have the floor, sir.
And partially the chamber and any other.
Hey, can you speak for me too?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Last time you didn't pay up.
A man of all occasions.
Yeah. A lot of you know me. For the ones that don't, I'm Tom Corbin. I'm a past master of the Masonic Lodge here in town. Have been here a member for many years. Was on the fire department, everything else. David knows me, Becky knows me. But anyway, we put on the haunted house last year, which hopefully everybody knew about. And we have it, matter of fact, our guys are up there putting it together right now. It's going to actually be bigger than last year. And did you ever hear what the official head count was for 3 days? Out of curiosity?
No.
Tell us.
Yeah, we had over 2,700 go through.
That is
Wow.
amazing.
And we had them actually, we had people from Cleveland, Indiana, they saw it on the internet, and they came over because we were one of the only places doing anything, during the COVID.
Did that include Ghost?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta have
Yeah, yeah. Well, some that we wanted to make ghosts. But had a great time, and it is free, and it will be free again this year. We want to expand it, and the reason why I'm here tonight is we had some safety issues last year, which Kelly Sparks was our deputy, and she did a really good job, and we combed some things off and tape. But with children and adults, especially the adults, they'll just start tearing across the street, and they don't look, they don't do anything. All they know is they want to get in line and go through. So what we'd like to do this year is we would like to close off the street from, what is that, Houston right there by the Dairy Freeze to Main Street. And for several reasons. One, safety. The other is we have some exhibits that we want to put out. We have some antique cars with dead bodies and things that'll be in them.
Obviously real, right?
Okay.
He's working closely with
If you say
EMS,
so.
right?
Okay, yeah.
If you say so, Jay. Yeah, no, they're not real.
Wink.
And we plan on having a funeral procession for the opening on Friday night. To bring a body down. It'll actually be in the back of one of our old vehicles.
Might include an undertaker?
Although you'd be surprised, if you volunteer. We need help. It takes, I don't know if you realize how many people it takes to put this on. We had 33 volunteers last year, and they worked their rear ends off. And the other thing that we want to do, and one of the reasons why we want to put the close down the street is, we have the DJ still, but we also have a huge blow-up screen that we want to put on the street this year and be putting a movie going on at the same time. And it might be Hocus Pocus or Casper, whatever. Depends on the crowd. Early on, it'll probably be Hocus Pocus early in the evening, and then later in the evening, it might be Rocky Horror Picture Show. So once the adults start coming out. So we have to temper it. 6 to 10 on Friday and Saturday, 1 to 4 on Sunday. And the reason why we want to stop at 4 is because we know trick or treat starts here at 5, I think. So we wanted to make sure that, everybody got through the haunted house, did what they wanted to do, and on to the village to collect their candy. So if I can, if somebody would entertain a motion to go ahead and close the street for those couple days. And again, Sunday, we'll be cleared out of there. Probably we'll start taking stuff down around 2, 3 o'clock on the street itself so it can get opened up. We won't need to close the street until probably 4 on Friday. So it's not going to affect the overall traffic pattern that bad. But I think with safety and the things that we're going to add, I think it's going to be important. We're getting responses from all over this area, London, or what we call District 9 for the Masons, and we have volunteers coming in from all different places to help. And they want to come and see it. Yeah, so it's up to you folks on that, and then I'll get to my next issue after that.
All right.
So is that the closure of what street again? Can I,
Houston to
From-
Maine?
It would be Main Street, or I'm sorry, London Street from Houston to Maine.
All right, I like,
From like the Dairy Freeze to
Right.
where Deb's Diner was.
okay.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
It's this block right
I think
here.
I'm right
Yep.
on the names, aren't I? You are.
yeah,
That is correct, yeah,
For
Tom,
the
yeah.
For the 3-day event, right? So it's going to be an all-day.
Well, it's actually
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
like half a day Friday, half a day, well.
So,
it'll
so
close
we'll
half
take
a day.
we'll take the closure down every day till it's close to the event time.
No, well, no, because
Oh, okay.
you can't do that.
We'll leave it
We'll
up.
have static things out on the
Okay,
street that we
okay.
can't really move.
So
Gotcha.
closed for 3 days, basically.
Right, so
So
you'll be
Houston-
closing from 4 o'clock on Friday until, we'll say, 3 o'clock on Sunday.
all right.
Okay, and then, because it's kind of like the same detour, just for the public's notification, what he's talking about. It's like the same detour that we had just this past Saturday.
Okay.
So it's from Church Street,
Yes.
Houston Street to
Yes.
Larry's.
Exactly,
Main Street.
exactly.
Okay, so
Well, you could have it just to here, to this first
Oh,
light.
But not to
To
Larry's,
the
to Main
first,
Street.
to the first light.
Where the hardware store
okay,
is.
right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
Okay, Houston
Right.
to Maine.
Correct.
Okay.
Just
Houston, Church.
the Chase Bank Street area.
Okay.
That's the easier way to put it.
All right, well,
I'm trying to pick on my son-in-law to do some stuff.
I swear I'll make it.
He's a talker.
Go, Jay, you're up.
Well, just as last year, I'm honored to say, let's make a motion for this great event. Like I said, it scared the pants off of me, and I walked in with the lights on, so.
I'll second it.
Okay, Jay was first, Becky second.
Roll call?
David,
Yes.
Melanie,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Absolutely.
Andy.
Couldn't agree more, yes.
Motion has passed.
Thank you. Now, now I'm changing hats to the chamber, which I'm a member of also. We have a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm primarily, the Halloween part is part of it. But then I'm going to skip and go to December, because I'll be taking care of the parade, the nighttime parade, which is December 4th, and which is the village. So anybody that wants to be in and out of Wi-Fi land, or whatever you want to call it, contact me. Courtney has my numbers, Becky has my numbers. We have some really neat things that we have planned coming up for it. Obviously, if you can light your vehicles, that's ideal, the ideal situation. We'll have, again, an announcer in the gazebo. We haven't picked the route absolutely positively for sure yet, but we think it's going to come up Main Street, come down, hang a left, come back over to Columbus Street, come back to London, and then back to the gazebo, where we'll let Santa Claus off to do his thing. We'll have music going on. We're going to have, well, the Masons themselves will be doing kettle corn, wassail, and hot chocolate. And I know we have some food trucks coming in. So that is going to be a lot of fun. There's no doubt about that. And then we, again, as far as the Masons go, we will have breakfast with Santa on December the 11th and 18th. And the Chamber's co-sponsoring with us on that. So we'll have Santa there, and again, it's a free event. So we'll have Santa, pancakes, all that kind of fun stuff. And it will go from 9 o'clock to 11 or whatever everybody leaves.
Well,
So,
you're changing all the times that are in the book. Just,
I'm sorry?
I said I think you're changing
Oh,
the times that
what's
was in the book. 10 to 1,
for,
10 to 1 for the breakfast with Santa?
fine.
Okay. I mean,
I mean, I'm gonna be there a lot earlier.
We'll call it brunch.
Yeah, yeah, so if people wanna start coming over at 9, no problem. We'll go till 1, we'll go to the last person leaves, do it that way.
Let's hope we get some snow with it.
That would be nice.
Yeah, it would. It
Kinda
would.
neat,
The big guy needs that.
if nothing else, I don't mind making it artificial.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something. So again, if anybody wants to volunteer or help on any of the events we're doing, throw your hat in, we can use you. What are you laughing about? Or you just look at me like, yeah, right.
No, it's great.
As I say, Courtney and Becky knows my numbers, David does, not everybody does. Get a hold of me and we'll put you to work, and I appreciate you and all your efforts.
so I know council previously approved shutting down this block between Main and Columbus for Christmas in the Village. So for your parade, are you just going to have the sheriff following behind you, and we're
Yes,
just going
we'll do
to,
the same thing that we did for the 4th of July
no
parade.
special road closure,
Yep,
just,
we'll just do a roaming road
got that,
block.
Jack?
It works the best. They did, and the sheriff's department did an excellent
Yes.
job at the 4th of July parade. They were on it, just boom, 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 circle around, no issues. It's a great time. And the one that we'll be having this 4th of July, which will not be on a Sunday, so there won't be any issues with that, is gonna be even bigger again.
But we do need some no parking signs. Wasn't that an issue or no?
We did do some no
Like
parking.
where you come around corners and stuff on some of the,
Well, mainly down by the dairy freeze, that one section, we wanted no parking signs on.
okay, so if you can just tell us what that is so we can get it to the sheriff's
sure.
department.
Yep, that's no problem. And that was mainly just so if you had an exorbitant amount of semis going through there, you know, they didn't wipe out somebody's Pinto or
Right.
something, you know.
But again, it's temporary, so it's not gonna be
Oh,
on
no.
the outskirts, it's not gonna come.
Couple
No,
hours.
no, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the parade itself will probably last 20 minutes, if that, somewhere in there. And then, as I say, it'll end up back at the gazebo, and Santa Claus will do his thing, and we'll be having Christmas music the whole time, a lot of different things like that, so it should be a really good time, but we gotta get through the haunted house first. Other than that, any other questions?
Thank you so much.
No problem, I gotta go back and work on the haunted house.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
That's great, great. That takes us to department reports. Sheriff report? Jack?
You got the report in front of you. Does anybody have any questions on it? Remember, this is for 1 week. You got the one last week, so this is only for 1 week.
Thanks.
I just know on my end of town, I welcome the sheriffs again to patrol in and out of my driveway if they want, but people are really overzealous right now with that bridge being
That's-
open.
I don't know if you've seen me down there, but I've been down there quite a bit more.
Great, great.
Just-
Yeah, because there's a lot of
We're
school
still here.
buses swooping around and people start their 35 doesn't end where it should end.
Well, they start their 35 at High Street.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the signs does, and they're at 35 right there.
Because, yeah, literally just on the other side of Becky's driveway is the 55 sign. So
Right.
people are trying to catch up to 55
Yeah.
as fast as they
Until
can.
you sit down there and then.
Right.
Then they
you'll
wait.
get up front and You'll see the radar just climbing, 38, 39, 40, 41, and then 35, just like that.
55, yeah.
Hey, Jack, what's an unwanted guest, a relative you don't want around your house or something?
Pretty much.
That's wondering. That's just interesting.
Are you
I got a
available,
cousin that comes around
are
there.
you available on Thanksgiving?
I'm an unwanted guest at your house.
Never, never.
We had one here in town hall.
Okay, I just want, no, more of a transit?
Well, no, it's just somebody that the people don't want there.
Okay. I got a cousin maybe down the road, so.
Okay, one last thing about all these great events coming up. Everything sounds great except the snow. no snow.
Yeah.
It can be cold, but no snow.
No snow.
Right?
Any other
I'm not
questions?
Scrooge, I love Christmas, no snow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That takes us to our law directory report. I don't have anything.
I don't either.
Okay. Utilities clerk, Miss Misty.
It's good to be back. I was out for a while and, really good here. Alrighty. So it's good to be back. Yeah. I appreciate Sue filling in. That was really nice, and all of you helped out as well. So just a little bit about the delinquents and the some other things too. We have about 17 accounts that are delinquent, so there's going to be some shut-offs. Not just notices, some accounts will be shut off tomorrow. So that there's so much assistance out there, and it's so simple to get. And, I've had people say, well, I don't know how, or I've never asked for help before. Well, it's there, and I can give the information, but I can't call for them. So it's just sad.
What's
because-
the name of the top couple of programs? So that way we can have it on record and also video. Someone's watching. What kind of programs? These are the name of them.
Well, it's from Community Service, the Bridges, and her name is Laura, and I have all of her information, and it can happen very quickly. We had somebody get approved at the window when they came in. They received a shut-off notice, and they came in, and I did call, but they were right there with me, and they got approved right then. So the money's there. It's for our residents just as much as it is for anybody else in the county. So, don't be discouraged. Don't ignore it. And because it costs a whole lot more after you get it turned off. The whole amount is due plus $50. That's a lot.
And your name is not published anywhere, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't say, oh, this is how it comes.
Oh,
in.
no.
There's nothing that
Nope.
comes to us that says,
No, the names aren't out there. I mean, it's pretty private. It's nobody's business. We just want to collect what's owed to us, and it's your account, so it's no one's business. It's not the neighbor's business. It's not the neighbor's fault if it gets shut off.
But you're saying that when it goes to the county for the health, it's not out there either, right?
I can only speak on what the village receives, because we don't get involved in that.
Right. It's not published anywhere. It's not,
Right.
it's
put in
not,
the paper
right,
or, given to your neighbor or,
right.
anything like that.
So, we have around $5,600 that's delinquent, and, like I said, some of that's gonna get shut off tomorrow. The whole amount is not due according to the ordinance. When we put out about 60 notices, and, we tried to put the amount on there that's due, but whatever's due on 9/15, what will get shut off of it's everything up to 8/15 not paid. So, like everything that's due on 10/15, you'll have a penalty, but it's not, the entire bill, that has to be paid to avoid disconnection. So that's pretty discouraging to some people, because they see that amount and they're a little behind, and,
Just don't go into hiding and
yeah.
don't
yeah,
freak
yeah.
out. Just make communication. That's
yeah.
all we're asking, is make communication.
Right.
Basically, Misty, as long as they pay some of it up to that point.
Well, no, they have to pay what was due, up to the previous due date,
Okay.
to avoid the disconnection, including the penalty that was due with that.
Okay.
And so, so it's not like the council didn't give a little bit of leeway and mercy there, so. With that said, we have, the county has, they have some accounts that they have already pledged to pay, so that stopped some disconnections. And that's around $2,000, a little over $2,000 that's in the works for them to get us a check. The fees do continue to add up, and I make that aware to all of the customers that have, that are getting assistance from the county. What else was there? We do have some, very small, but the amounts are growing that the water and sewer committee's gonna have to make a decision on, how do we get those accounts off if it's not easily accessed, like if we can't access it easily. And are we gonna charge them if we have to have somebody come in and, put a new tap in the yard or whatever it may be? And Melanie, you're looking like, to explain that a little better is, say if someone inside doesn't have a shut off and there's no curb stop, or the meter's not outside. Now, we have had the assistance of the deputy, meet us and go into some homes and get it shut off that way if the meter's located inside. So we have went to that length, and it's only right to do so. So that's something that needs to be decided
I
fairly
just know
quickly.
that there are shut-offs that are like concreted over or stuck in sidewalks and those kind of things. So I didn't know if,
Yeah, I mean, it's not real, I mean, there's not a ton of people that we need to shut off, but and we are aware of the issue over at the development. I think where you live, there's a curb that's settled. So that will be up to the committee to also decide how that's gonna get fixed. So these, we're aware of things like that. Question about a lot about the applications for the building and zoning or for the fence permits. I did put a packet out front here. There's application and the instructions how to fill out those applications. So if you're interested in building a fence or outbuilding, I don't know. Mr. Hale's information's on that packet, but they're out here when you walk into the lobby to the left. Just throw that out there. Because we get a lot of questions regarding that, don't we? And I think,
And you have to get a permit if you're constructing a fence or anything that you're doing. It is safe to call and ask, but permits are required for certain constructions or installations.
but that's about all I have, and I've already volunteered to help Tom out, so all of you should too. We'll have fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
That takes us to zoning and building. Are you here on Tom's behalf, or are you just taking notes?
I am here on Tom's behalf, but I have questions. If anybody has questions, I wasn't told to.
I, from the committee's perspective, I don't think we really had anything because we have not met. So I think you're awesome.
This is Christy, by the way, if
Yeah,
anybody has not
yeah.
met. Christy West, she works in West Jefferson. She's the brains behind everything.
It could be said that, yeah.
Now,
I
I don't include haunted houses though, right? Here we go.
Thank you for being there, and thanks for fielding calls that I know we get sent in your direction, so we appreciate you.
Absolutely. Feel free anytime you get questions on a fence or anything.
Yeah, she's very quick to respond, so
Absolutely.
we appreciate that. That takes us to Ms. Brooker for the fiscal officer report.
Okay, now we were sitting here the same time last week, right? Okay, so, everybody got their packet, of their financials. And again, this was ran from September the 1st to September the 24th. Again, I didn't receive any questions thus far, but my door is always open if there are any questions that you guys may have. And what Jay alluded to earlier is that, yes, we did have a finance work session. I think Andy will probably allude to it as well. So a lot of good topics and questions have come out of that. It was productive. It was a 2-hour long event. And I will be making some edits to that and sending it back out. Just for the public's idea and knowledge is that we will have to have that approved before October the 20th, because we will, as a reminder, have a financial commission committee meeting at 10 a.m. here at Town Hall. If that changes, it is in person. If that changes, I will make updates to the website. But In general, any changes or updates to any meetings are always on the website if you guys have any questions, and of course, you can contact me. So if there is no questions in regards to what you guys have here in front of you, the budget does look great. We are above in revenues and below in expenditures, is exactly where you want to be. And with that said, is there any other questions that you guys may have?
Don't have any?
Okay, so I would just ask for a motion to approve the appropriation status report, the revenue status report, the receipt listing report, the payment listing report, the comparison of budget and appropriated report, the cash summary by fund report, and the reader report.
I'll give you that motion.
Second.
So that was Andy, Jay.
Roll call?
Okay, Melanie,
Yes.
Craig,
Yes.
Becky,
Yes.
Jay,
Yes.
Andy,
Yes.
David.
Yes.
So I will pass this around if I could obtain your guys' signatures.
That takes us to committee reports. Finance, Andy?
Not much more to say than what's been said, other than I appreciate everyone's involvement and sincere efforts to try to get to a budget for next year and a forecasted budget for the years beyond that. I know it's a lot of work, and everyone has good intentions for the village and is working with the residents in mind. So I certainly appreciate that. It is a messy process. But that's what we're in it for. And so I'm optimistic we'll get it done by the goal date, getting it in front of the commission and getting it approved the first time final. We're going to try really hard to make that happen. So continue to work at it. And then it should be said that this was the first part, and that there will be a part 2, which will cover anything other than the general fund. So on that note, I think we're good. Thank you.
Pleasant Township, Melanie?
I have nothing to report. Next meeting's October 4th,
Okay.
7 PM,
What was it, October what?
4th.
Squad, Jay?
Nothing to report this time. Our next meeting is 10/13, which is the second Wednesday of the month, and it's at 8 PM over at the Squad Bay.
Fire, Craig?
Our meeting is this Thursday at the 30th at 8 o'clock. And that's all.
Okay. Water, wastewater.
I have
Craig?
nothing to report. Our next meeting will be Wednesday, October the 6th at 9 a.m.
Street, Andy?
I have nothing to report as well other than last week's report. We have not met in the meantime, so our next meeting will be the 6th as well at 8 a.m.
Okay. Parks and Rec, Melanie?
I just want to remind everybody that we did cancel the last food and flea that was scheduled for next weekend. And our next meeting will be October 4th at 8 a.m.
Very good. Record retention, Andy?
We did meet. We churned through a good chunk of materials. This is last Friday morning, and we will continue that process, meeting once a month. So I think since our meeting was bumped this last time, I'm going to propose again a mid-month, and that will be posted for mid-month for October, and that'll be posted on the website when we get committee agreement on that. But look forward to I want to say October 15th, somewhere around the middle of the month.
Very good. Nuisance and abatement, Jay?
Yes, we actually met this morning. It was our first meeting in a while. We welcomed our new members. We had Councilmember Craig Hicks join as well, and then our citizen, Ms. Joyce Phillips, who's in the audience with us. It was great to have them, have a new voice in there as well. We kind of talked about the role of the nuisance abatement and what we kind of look for again, and it's always about beautification. It's about really just kind of recognizing what's out there, and it's not to punish, but it's to help. It's to kind of help address some situations. Again, we always try to work with the residents as well, depending on the circumstance. One thing we did do as well today, kind of like the last thing we did was kind of create quadrants that each individual member was to kind of oversee per se, and it kind of help. So everybody has a role to play in it, and we all work together and address that, and that will kind of help how we report back to the council to where, what we see, what number we're getting done, percentage, things like that. So that was kind of the goal today, was just kind of introduction, share the goals of the nuisance, and then also just kind of setting those quadrants for each individual member of that committee. Next meeting is TBD, just because since we have new members working with new schedules and things like that, the next date will be announced shortly.
Okay, very good. Safety and Block Watch, David?
Yes, the main thing we did, we discussed in good detail the sheriff's contract, discussed what we can do about the budget of it and everything, and that was the main focus for this morning. And also, I got a new tip. This one here, I enjoy these because I enjoy how these people try to get by with this stuff. You'll get a call from the DAV, the Disabled Veterans, because I know this for a fact, because I know about the veterans. They will call up and say, we need extra funds. The government funds the DAV. We have nothing to do with this, and they'll say, has you got a family member that's been a veteran, they need so money. The best thing to do, go, boo, make a noise, or just hang up on them.
What was that again?
The DAV.
No, what'd you say you needed to do?
It need to do is just make a noise in your phone, blow in their ear, or yell or something.
What we say?
Oh, my God.
There it is.
There it is. Could you pass that down?
And I will show you what you do. I am proud to do.
You say it often
anybody
enough,
have
I
one of
think you
these?
need
Okay,
a
I'll call
prop.
my 90-year-old great aunt, and we'll reenact that.
And if it rings, you just pick it up. When they say that, you go, or I see you, buddy. It's so easy.
Well, you need to slam it, Dave.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
come on.
there's a
There you go.
problem.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Marcy. I needed that.
Okay. Have a little humor spread in from time to time. That takes us to planning and
All right,
zoning.
something I hope you don't slam down in your ear. Planning and zoning, the committee did meet last week, and what you have, or you will be considering here shortly, is the result of work over the last couple of months to try to get development fees squared away for the village. We have none today. So this was designed to set out some initial baseline. So what are these fees? These are fees that when a developer comes in, they know that the village is going to expect, again, specific line items that will go towards specific things in the village budget to compensate us for the work that we put in, or to compensate others, like the fire district, for example. So we have to have these fees in advance because you can't go get them after the fact. You can't go levy a tax on somebody just randomly and say, oh, no, you were building in my village and then, you didn't pay me. Well, you got to do this in advance. And our goal throughout the process was to be as competitive as possible. And we felt that by looking at the fees charged by other similarly sized and a little bit larger villages around us that are exploding with growth right now, to be honest with you, their fees are pretty darn high, and we feel like if we're in the hunt, we could attract some pretty significant building. So we're excited about that. The fees that you have represent about 90% of what a normal municipality would probably get. We want to come in a little bit less in order to say that we're serious and mean business. We have never gotten these fees before, or these fees were negotiated on a deal by deal by deal by deal basis, and we wanted to start establishing what we thought was an initial baseline. And if we ever have to adjust them, we can. But when a developer comes to Mount Sterling, they'll know. They'll know in advance this is approximately what we're looking at. And we tried to be as clear and upfront, single page, slide it across the desk, and that's what you need to know. So again, you've heard me say it before, we're trying very hard to make sure that people know Mount Sterling is open for business and that we would like to hear more about development here. So we'll get to that in a second, and I want to again thank all the hard work that the committee put in. We have a dedicated crew. They are really great neighbors and friends, and I highly encourage any of you, if you're interested in how the process works, come on out. It is interesting. It is not just rate formulation from a book. It's actually really kind of interesting stuff. So on that note, we'll hand it off and go on from there.
Thank you. That takes us to our ordinances and resolutions.
Okay, the first one is ordinance 2021-17, an ordinance accepting the 2022 estimated entitlement for the local government Support Fund, and this is on the first reading. I'll talk a little bit to it, because, okay, so I sent you guys sort of a generic little flyer of how local government and what local government funds are. So, again, this actually increased about $11,000 from last year. So it is an increase, it's not a decrease. These entitlements, of course, show everything, what West Jeff receives, what London receives, what Plain City receives, and we are somewhat in that line for villages, if you compare us to a village versus a city. So this is the first reading. This is something that gets approved and passed every year. Again, it's only estimated, but again, a good win for us. It's $11,000 more than what we had last year.
So can we have a motion to place this on the first reading?
Yeah, that motion.
2021-17?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
I was only doing that because I was checking to make sure we were still live. I just got a text this.
Okay.
Okay, ordinance 2021-18, an ordinance enacting development fees and declaring this as an emergency.
And that's what,
What I was just speaking on, and the reason why we're asking for this is we expect an active developer to be coming back to us in the month of October, and we would sincerely wish that we're ready for that person.
Now, will these fees apply to Deer Creek Rent Part 2, or are they already exempt from these?
This would be anything going forward. So if it's being built and it's in the process right now, first of all, that's also a residence. This is what we're talking in terms of commercial. But any fee structure for commercial industrial use would be going forward.
so I'd like to have a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay. Roll call?
That was Craig and Andy. Becky?
Yes.
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Now I need a motion to place this on the first, second, and third readings.
Have that motion.
David?
Second.
Jay? Roll call?
Jay?
Yes.
Andy?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
Now I need motion for passage of ordinance 2021-18.
Motion.
Second?
Jay and Andy, roll call?
Andy?
Yes?
David?
Yes.
Melanie?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Becky?
Yes.
And Jay?
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2021-18 has passed.
Very good. That takes us to roundtable. Anyone have anything for roundtable?
On roundtable, we got the flagpole started today, and we're hoping to have everything ready for Veterans Day, and it will be a special ceremony with the flags, and we do, and I'm looking forward to it, and knock on wood, I want beautiful weather for that, because I expect a big turnout this year with the flags and everything, and we're going to have I believe we've talked about this, we'll be one of the first flags to have Space Force up. And that's the newest military group, not to go with Star Wars, this is Space Force. And it's going to be great because one of our flags will be about the third in the state. So that's a good thing. So I hope we have a good turnout in the weather.
Are they not putting the flags up until then, or are they putting them out tomorrow?
We have the flags on order and everything, and basically, I think we're going to show everything that same day. I haven't talked to the other commanders, but I got a meeting Monday, and I'll have something to report on that next council meeting.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, I meant to add this in my report, and that's my fault. Community cleanup, that's October 23rd. That's going to be part of the Make a Difference Day that is being implemented as well. So we do have a cleanup. We do have some details coming along the pipeline of, obviously, dumpsters and groups, projects, things like that. So you'll see some announcements start rolling out a little bit as what we're looking for, and groups and things like that. So just wanted to put that on everybody's radar. Community cleanup, where we just ask the community to get involved, helping your neighbor out, and, just having fun doing it.
Very good.
I just want to give a brief report on the Fall Street Market that just happened this past weekend. It was, we had a lot of vendors, all the local downtown brick and mortars were open. A special thank you to Barbie Wallace. She goes above and beyond when we do these events. and our husbands for helping us shut down the streets and things. They get pulled into everything we get into, so that's a lot. And I do want to let, especially the candidates that are here, I know 3 of us are running for reelection, and then there's 3 other people running. I wanted to let them know at our meeting on Thursday, our chamber meeting, that Dan Duell came, and he is once again going to host Meet the Candidate Night at the Mercantile. He did this 2 years ago, and very nice event. So that is going to be on October the 12th at 7 p.m. And the doors open at 6:30, and there'll be light refreshments, just cookies and a beverage, but, and that will just go till the end. But 2 years ago, it was only about an hour long. All the questions are timed and things. The questions come from the audience. So I did want to let you know, the flyer should be coming out anytime. We'll have them posted around the businesses, town hall,
And township people as well?
yes, it won't just be council, it'll be the township trustees, and I believe there's 4 of them running for 3 spots. It'll be a good event. So I hope everyone can come, get involved. It's a chance to ask the candidates themselves specific questions that you have. So, and then Jay just mentioned the Make a Difference Day and Community Cleanup on the 23rd. That's going to be a busy day. There's also, the community center is hosting their holiday bazaar, and there'll be a downtown shop hop that day. So it's going to be, the town will be bustling, and that'll be awesome. So,
Same time, 23rd?
yeah, that's 10 to 3, and, it says the community cleanup day is to be announced, but usually it's 9-ish, 8-ish, 9-ish to
It was early
early
start.
afternoon. So, so that'll be a great day. So I just encourage everyone to come out and, support small business and also make a difference in your community and help with the cleanup days. And then Tom already talked about the haunted house and things. But I do want to thank the Nuisance and Abatement Committee and Marcy for the newest newsletter. And these will be out. The little stack you gave me for this weekend are gone. But these will be out at Town Hall and at other businesses. And the great thing is, on the front page, this is our last quarter newsletter. It's October, November, and December. It tells on here the monthly committing dates, something about Make a Difference Day, some different ordinances about snow and leaves. And then on the back, this is a great one to hang on your refrigerator because it gives all the events that were reported to us for the rest of the year. So, and if any of you out there thinking, oh gosh, I wish I would have had my Christmas event on there and you're at church or something, all you have to do is call the mayor or the nuisance committee and get your event. But these are scheduled 3 months out, so you really have to be on your game and get that scheduled ahead of time. So I just want to thank them. It's a really cute, informative flyer, and that's all I have.
Anyone else? Thank you, council, for the long afternoon, and we are adjourned.
Thank you.
And Jay and Marcy, I'll need to have you after.
Herbie
Decide.
Hancock.
Are you done? Coffee? No?
That's why I'm closing.
Marcy,
No.
I realized I chugged the coffee all afternoon.